Hey, it's Dr. Karen Can. Welcome to this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and perhaps the notification bell so every time I do a new video, you will be notified. So this week on Spiritual Medicine Digest, we are talking about sensitive soul sadness. Yes, so I tend to have the energetic body type of being relatively stable with my emotions. So there are some ups and downs, but they're really not that uppy and not that downy. However, last week there were actually one day in particular, that I was definitely down. In fact, I was using my LifeWave Eon patches on my Governor Vessel 20 up here to lift my spirits, and of course that was helpful. However, I did need to know why I was down. Now, I've come to know that a lot of times when I'm feeling unstable emotionally, it's usually not my stuff. Now, with very, very good boundaries, that can also mean that the clairsentience or the spiritual gifts are expanding, and sensitive souls can feel into things on a deeper way, even if their boundaries are relatively good. So, in this particular case, I believe that there was an opportunity for me to actually what I call partial proxy, which means healing on behalf of sensitive souls worldwide. Now, sometimes proxying for others or partial proxying, which means only part of me is doing the work, can be exactly what the soul mission is, or the mini soul mission, as I like to say. For some other people, it is totally not appropriate, and they should not be proxying or partial proxying for others because their spiritual gifts are so out there and just not handled well, right? They're feeling everything and they're trying to heal everything and not even knowing they're doing it. In my case, I can test really, really quickly with divine muscle testing. First of all, whether it's my stuff or not my stuff. And then if I'm proxying or partial proxying for another, and then if I am proxying or partial proxying for another, whether that's appropriate and for the highest and greatest good. If it's not appropriate, it could be just very weak boundaries, like spiritual boundaries, for example. If it is appropriate, usually it means that it's a mission or a mini mission that I am supposed to do something. Now, in this case, there was a mini mission involved. So healing the sadness on behalf of sensitive souls, and perhaps it was related to the December 12/12 portal. I'm not really sure. I'm not really that proficient at astrology and dates and things like that. So there was definitely a shift that occurred in and around that time, like the day after, where it was definitely more emotional for a lot of highly sensitive people. And we don't have to think that that's a bad thing. It can be a form of detoxification, and it could be a form of us opening up to greater spiritual gifts, which means we can actually feel each other more, and we need that discernment of, is it my stuff, is it not my stuff, etc., etc. So aside from using, tools, Governor Vessel 20, to lift the spirits, I think it's important for us to get a handle on our clairsentience, really discern whether it's our stuff or not our stuff. And that's why divine muscle testing is something I love and I'm passionate about teaching, because it does help you, first of all, to be in the body, and second of all, it does help you figure out whether or not you are yourself that day, or whether you're proxying or partially proxying for another person, place, or thing. And yes, it can be a place, it can be a planet, it can be a galaxy. I mean, the list goes on. So night world, it gets pretty complex sometimes. So today, I want to share a little bit about how the holidays can also impact this. So the sadness could also be related to the holidays. And you're thinking, holidays supposed to be happy, right? Not so much. Why? Okay, well, let's go back to when I was an intern, and I had interestingly picked electives during the December Christmas season. One was neurology, and I believe the other was psychiatry. And I was on call, and I can tell you it was very unpleasant being on call during the Christmas holiday season. Not to mention that I wasn't with my family celebrating. I was working in the ER all hours of the night, right? Not enough sleep. But it was like a zoo in there. So it was like everyone who could decompensate decompensated during that time. So we had all these people with like strokes and heart attacks and suicidality and meningitis. I still remember that case, and I was just like inundated. I didn't have enough sleep. Me and the other, I was an intern. She was a resident. She was sick as a dog. So it was like really, really challenging. And I was like, huh, okay, it was a fluke. All right, until the next Christmas. It happened all over again, and this time in psychiatry. Yes, people trying to kill themselves, yada yada. And that was like really intense. And I was like, what is going on here? So I realized that part of it is having to do with our human expectations. You know, we talk about like the Hallmark card family, right? Like everyone gets along, and they're having fun and you're sharing meals over Christmas. And yes, absolutely, there are families that do that, and it's wonderful and I love it. And there's a lot of families that don't. And there's a lot of people who don't have families, who are quote unquote alone at Christmas. Their family is either deceased or they are separated, or this, thing that we've, had to deal with for the last few years has separated families as well. Sometimes separated based on inoculation status, sometimes separated based on ideals, sometimes separated because of political shifts or whatever, right? So it's been really challenging for people. So I think that some of the sadness has to do with that coming up, because the holidays will accentuate what it is we don't have that we desire. So if we desire harmony, if we desire that Hallmark card, family connection and closeness, and we don't have it, it seems worse during the holidays because we don't actually expect it to be different until the holidays, because we get all these messages, right, of how it's supposed to be. And it can cause people to look at the contrast and get really down and depressed. And then as sensitive souls, guess what? We get to feel all the other sensitive souls on the planet and how they feel about it sometimes. So I did a healing for sensitive souls, and related to sadness and the holidays, and that did help myself for sure. However, I would like to do a Doppelganger healing activation if you are watching this and you have a little bit of that left over, or you're feeling like, yeah, I'm not really liking the holidays, or you're missing something, or feeling that separation, or feeling that disconnectedness. So if you'd like to receive, I'm going to do a Topican healing activation. We'll just see what comes out of my mouth, because sometimes I don't plan these things. It just kind of like channels through me, right? So what we do is we get into stillness together, and that means being in the body and feeling the body. And then I'll do a Topican healing directive or directives to kind of direct the frequencies and energies that would be beneficial for us. So I'm actually not sure exactly what I'm going to say. So let's go and let's try it out. So let's go into the 0 point field together of that stillness, feeling energy running in the body, maybe some heat between your hands. And if you can't do this with your hands, you can jump up and down or wheel your toes or something like that. Oh boy, I shouldn't have wore a turtleneck. I'm really hot right now. Okay, relax. If it's safe for you to do so, go ahead and close your eyes. Focus on the inside of your body, perhaps where your hands were rubbing. Go ahead and feel any vibration, movement, undulations, pulsing in your hands, heat, if anything like that is occurring, and follow that flow wherever it goes. Perhaps it goes up the arm, perhaps it goes to the head or the neck or the belly or the legs. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry about making it do anything. Just observe and just feel the body. In this way, we're fully present. When we are fully present, embodied, this is when healing can actually occur. Okay, so continue feeling energy in your body, because I'm going to ask you later on for some feedback. Let's do some Topican healing directives. Okay, so let's see which one we're guided to do first. Okay, so I now command the sadness, past, present, and future, for each of us be flipped to its polar opposite, which is happiness, or those frequencies, in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace, whenever it is ready to do so. So that requires divine timing, right? And now command that anything causing or contributing to us feeling separate from source, separate from others, or just feeling separate and alone, that all those causes be healed and resolved in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with speed, ease, and grace, and all timelines where we exist. Thank you. It's now commanded that we fully be able to connect to source, connect to the frequencies of love, joy, peace, freedom, harmony, abundance, prosperity, love, and family love. Anything preventing this be completely healed and resolved. In the highest and best way, all directions of time with speed, ease, and grace in all timelines where we exist. Thank you. It's now commanded that the positive morphic field of feeling and being loved by our tribes, honored by our tribe, accepted by our tribe, be downloaded and activated in all of us in the highest and best way. All directions of time with speed, ease, and grace in all timelines where we exist. Thank you. It's now commanded that excess empathy and sensitivity and intensity of feelings of sadness or any other emotional feeling that is not comfortable be dialed down on the 10-point scale to as low as possible, possibly a 0 out of 10 if allowed. In all timelines where we exist, where appropriate and allowed, in the highest and best way with ease, speed, and grace. It's now commanded that any boundary that is not intact and sovereign, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, relational, and any others we don't know about, be restored to 100% health, intactness, sovereignty in the highest and best way, while awake, while asleep, with ease, speed, and grace. It is now commanded that the energy of love encompass all of our other emotions, allowing them, accepting them, honoring them, and literally melting them into the love, whether that be anger, hurt, pain, resentment, just placing it in that love bubble, honoring its place, not trying to get rid of it, but just honoring its place, loving it into the light. This and all their blessings, we give thanks and gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a breath in and out. Okay, just again, feel into the body. Love to know what that felt like for you. Please go ahead and comment in the space below this video. That'd be super awesome. And I have some announcements for today. My beautiful, beautiful friend Rebecca Hogan is going to be talking about self-mastery on the Light Warrior radio show. So she is a master self-mastery, and she's the founder of Marca Vida. And she's going to break down kind of like the science and the magic to having and living a high vibrational life. So she's going to cover the steps to self-mastery, how judgments, especially about money, can impact our overall vibration. We're going to talk about deeper perspectives on balancing, connecting to your dream life, and practical tools to remain a high vibe state. So that is going to be airing at 12 noon on Monday. We'll put the link below so you can check it out. I think you're absolutely going to love it. And just some announcements also. Of course, number one is, if you celebrate the holidays, I hope you enjoy your holidays and feel love, even if you're not with anyone that you would like to be with, whether that be with your family or friends, just feeling the love, feeling completely loved by Source, loved by the universe. We are one. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Feliz Navidad, like all these joy to the world, all whatever resonates with you. I send you many, many blessings and love. Thank you for being part of this tribe and community. Just sending you so much love. And just FYI, our Academy of Light Medicine team and support desk are taking some days off. I will still be teaching on my usual days and connecting with my Health Freedom Tribe on Wednesday, and connecting with my Light Warrior Revolution Tribe on the Saturday before New Year's. But other than that, we're kind of slowing down a little bit in the Academy. We've had a very, very eventful December, so slowing down is a good thing, right, guys? The other thing I want to share with you, there are some really cool resources, and it'll lift your spirits as well. The Holistic Health Roadmap is a new space that we put in to the light medicine community, kind of a mini course. We have a couple of mini courses. One is called Sensitivity is Your Superpower. The other one is called Holistic Health Roadmap, and we're going to be adding classes, free classes, archived into that space. So I'm going to put that link down below. Now, if you're not part of the light medicine community, you will be prompted to join the light medicine community for free, and that Holistic Health Roadmap mini course area, you just click join and you can see one of the latest classes that are in there, including the Simple Stress Solutions, 3 minutes to feeling calm, clear, and connected, where we talk about the different ways of handling stress. Some, you know, completely free, and some you might pay some money for, and then you can see what works for you. And in particular, one of the things I talked about earlier was that Eon patch by Lifewave on top of my head, because that is kind of my go-to if I do feel down, which is not that very often, but this is, like I call it, the bliss point. So we do talk about the different kinds of acupuncture points you can use with this patch during this training. So that is free for you to watch at any time. Just join that holistic health roadmap area in the light medicine community to check that out. Also, last chance replay for the prosperity and community healing with the elements mini training, mini workshop that we did last Sunday. Wow, that was really, really popular. We got some amazing positive feedback from that, and I'm really delighted because it was the first time I got to co-teach with these wonderful, wonderful, amazing friends of mine, Kathy Homeyer and Carrie Hummingbird. And the cool thing is, it's not, you know, not training where you just sit back and you just do nothing. No, no, no. You got to do the work. You got to participate in healing with the elements. So really, really love that. So if you missed that, you'll have another day left to watch that before that comes off. And if after watching that you want to go deeper in healing with the elements, specifically in community and sacred economy, then there is a link that you can fill out a form and see if that is something that possibly would be for your highest and greatest good. Yes. So thank you so much for joining me for this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. And remember, sometimes when you're sad, it's okay to be sad, and you can love the sadness, and it might not be yours. And hopefully the Topicane Healing Activation today helped you. Would love to hear if it did. Just comment below. Remember to like and subscribe, and share this video if you think it's helpful for others. Until next time, big, 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 big love to you. Thank you for being part of my community. See you next week.